Peggy Lee. Would you say your name for the camera?
Peggy Lee.
Peggy Lee. And Peggy Lee, were you alive during World War II?
Yes.
How old were you?
Oh, I was young. I was, probably 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. Wow. So what do you remember? Anything?
I remember when it was over and people going in the streets or coming out of their house and banging pots. That I can remember.
Nice. So you remember the excitement.
I remember the excitement, yeah.
That's great.
And I think I was 4 because my mother died when I was 3 and it was the following year.
What was your mom doing during World War II?
Taking care of 10 children.
Oh my goodness.
All girls.
All girls. What number are you?
7. Lucky 7.
Lucky 7. That's awesome. Very cool.
Yes.
So you served in the military?
Yes, I did.
When?
From 1958 to 1961.
I was born in 1961.
Oh. Thank you for that.
Where did you serve somewhere?
I went through boot camp at Paris Island, South Carolina. From boot camp, I went to Camp Pendleton, California. I was there only a few months, and they sent me to, I forget the name of the school, but it was a fantastic 6-month service at San Diego Navy Base.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that was awesome. And then from there, I went back to Camp Pendleton. Only stayed a few months, and then was stationed at headquarters in Washington, D.C., and I worked for 2 generals in the Pentagon.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, it was fantastic. I was their secretary.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was General John and General Hanson, and they were the 2 nicest men you ever wanted to meet.
Wow. So what was your job? What did you do for them?
Clerical secretary.
Okay, well.
That's what we did back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, women weren't allowed to do anything physical, God forbid.
So did you organize all their appointments?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I did. Answered their phones. Took dictation. That's why I went to school in San Diego. And then I got out and I stayed on the East Coast.
Oh.
Stayed in New York for 40 years.
Wow. And then what brought you back here?
And my family had always been after me, meaning my sisters and their children, of which they have many. And so I came back, and I did not want to be anywhere near them, too close, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And so I got a place in Florence, and I loved it down by the ocean. It was beautiful. I loved it. I started work again after I was here a year and a half. I said, well, the Social Security isn't going that far, so let me get a job. And I did. I got a job at the only motel on the ocean in Florence, the Driftwood Inn. I don't know if I should have said that, but that was wonderful. It was a great place to work.
It's okay. You can talk. You can say whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about working for a general. What's that like?
Oh, the first day I got there, I thought, oh my God, not 1 but 2. One is enough, and then you have 2. Oh my God, Oh my God, what am I going to do? What if they don't like me? But we got along just fine. like I said, they were two of the sweetest men.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think. You'd think, big and gruff,
Uh-huh.
And they were Marines, so they had to
Yeah.
be big and gruff.
And don't do anything off the ordinary because it's got to be just right.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But they were terrific. And I didn't have a hard time working with them at all.
Good.
Yeah.
Tell me about security. Can you tell me about security? I mean, what was unique about it?
Well, there were places you could go, doors that were locked because you couldn't go in. You had to have special security, or I didn't want to say special security, special,
Authorization?
thank you, authorization. And there were floors you couldn't even go on, lower floors.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go downstairs, but I could never get down there.
Couldn't do it, huh?
No, couldn't do it.
Hmm.
I wanted to see what was down those 4 or 5.
Oh, in the basement that far?
Yeah,
Wow.
that far. I wanted to go to the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And work my way up.
So you were in the Pentagon. Did you ever get to go on Air Force One?
No.
Nope.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So tell me what it was like to be a woman at boot camp.
We started out with 120 women. By the time we graduated with 84.
Wow.
All those others had to go home because they could not hack it. They'd cry at night all night long. They'd drive you crazy. I didn't find it difficult for me, but I grew up in an Air Force house. My stepfather was in the Air Force. And he used to flip the quarter off my bed. So, I was used to those type of things. He was very rigid. I couldn't stand him, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, you had to make the bed so it was so tight that
Yes.
the quarter would bounce on it.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm. I had a girlfriend that had to live like that.
Yeah. I hated it. And the funny part is, that wasn't the part I hated. It was him that I really did not like. We never got along. And he did things to me that should not be done. And I just kept counting the years. I was 8 when they adopted me. And starting at 8, I just kept telling myself at night, I couldn't wait to get out of the house. I couldn't wait. At 16, I wanted to drop out of school and run away. And then I said, no, you'd really be stupid to do that. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? And I didn't want it to be someone else's business. I wanted it to be me. So then I decided at 18 that I would join the service. And of course he wanted me to join the Air Force. So the first one I went to was the Navy. And I had just had an operation on my leg because I had a bone tumor. So the Navy said, no, you're going to have to wait 6 or 8 weeks. And I did not want to wait. I wanted to get out of the house. And then I went. No, I never went to the Army because I don't like the Army. I never went to the Army. It was the Navy. And then I went to the Marine Corps. And I lied about my operation and didn't check to see when it was done. So they took me in. And as it was, I waited 4 weeks anyway to get on the train and everything. I went from Portland on the train to Denver, And then I had to get off at Denver. And I remember staying all night with a lady. I don't know why. And then the next day I got on the train to the East Coast.
Train was an elite way to travel back then, wasn't
I
it?
loved it. Oh, it was
Mhm.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it, yeah.
So, why were those women crying? Why were they crying at night?
Because they were, I want my mother, I want my mother. I mean, and these were 20-some-year-old women. These weren't 18 and 19-year-old kids.
So they were homesick.
So they were very homesick. Yeah.
What about pressure? Was there the kind of pressure you see that the men have?
Yeah. From your drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you get there, they tell you you're nothing. That you're just a piece of scum thrown on the wall. But we are going to make something out of you. And they drill and drill and drill until they do.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Marines are known for a lot of exercise. Did you have to do that too?
We did exercise. We didn't do what the men do. We didn't have to scale. They do now. We didn't have to scale the walls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, they didn't want the women to get hurt, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They still pampered us in one way. I need my water, please.
I think I could tell.
Okay.
Go for some water. Do you have a memorable moment, something that really sticks out in your mind in your military service?
I loved it. There isn't anything I did not like about it. There is probably one, and that was the way we were treated by the Marines themselves. You know, they treated us like we were, excuse the expression, but whores. And I hated that. You know, like a prostitute or something. And, you know, they go after these young girls, and they were scared. And I hated that. They called us BAMs, B-A-M-S, because the women Marines are women Marines. They have no whack or wave. So they call us BAMs, which is bare-assed Marines.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's changed since then.
So I should hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I should hope so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 60 years, you know, it's a long time.
Yeah. I had a question.
And if I were young today, I'd go in a minute. I'd go into the service in a minute to fight for my country.
That's what makes you a veteran.
That would be a great honor.
Yeah, that's what makes you a veteran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you got out of the service,
No.
what do you remember?
I remember being very undecided as to whether I wanted to get out or wanted to stay in. But there were 3 other gals that were getting out at the same time. And they were all talking about going to New York and coming from Oregon. You say, "Ooh, New York," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I opted to do. And once I got there, I never left because I loved it. And New York, upstate where I lived, is very much like Oregon. They've got the trees, and you know, it's a beautiful state. People, when they hear New York, they think New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And it's much more than that.
Did you go to town a lot?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great. Years ago I did an interview session with just women veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we found out after we visited with all of the different veterans, and we had young to World War II,
Right.
And they said they were they never felt like society recognized them as veterans.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. Even today. I have a sign up on my door, and I thought maybe you would photograph it, only because I thought you were coming to my room. I didn't know I was coming here.
Mm-hmm.
And up at the top, it says, Oregon Woman Veteran. It's a pretty good size sign. And I did that because from day one, when I came down to the canteen, guys would see the Marines insignia on the back of my chair and shake my hand and look me in the eye and say, "What did your husband do?" And I said, "I don't know, because I didn't have one." I said, "I am the Marine." "Oh, excuse me."
Mm-hmm.
And all the first week, they all did that to me, and that's why I put the sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. We just went through Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about how a veteran is the only person besides Jesus that lays down their life for you.
Mm-hmm.
But all veterans, no matter whether you went to war or not,
Right.
you are a veteran.
Right.
Because I am not. I didn't enlist.
Right.
I couldn't enlist.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I honor what you did, because you were willing.
Right.
And we need you. We need all veterans to serve in that way.
Right.
It's very important.
I enjoyed it. I really did. There was nothing really bad that ever happened to me. If anything bad happened, it was my own fault. Like, when I was in California, about 13 of us were stupid enough to take a girl out of the brig, and we all went to Mexico. We had a fantastic time. I saw things that nobody should see in a bar. Nobody. And we got the Mexicans. I don't know if, I can't remember. I think we got very rowdy or something.
Imagine that.
Imagine that, yeah. I mean, we were stacking the beers on the table, you know. And so they arrested us and put us in jail.
Oh, the Mexicans did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then they got in touch with Camp Pendleton. And when the MPs came, I go, oh my God, no. And they didn't say anything. They just put us in the van, drove us back. And the following day, we got in trouble. You know, that's when I think it was the colonel we had to go see. And I was due for a stripe, and I didn't get it. I was a PFC. I was supposed to be a corporal, and I didn't get my stripe. I had to wait 6 months before I got it. 6 months of being clean.
They didn't like that, huh?
But that was, you know, like I said, we made our own fun and we made our own harmful things, you know.
Mm-hmm. So it was looked down upon to go to the bar and have that much fun? Oh, you got thrown in jail. That's what happened,
Yeah, that's
right?
what happened, yes.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not a good thing.
Right. And in a foreign country.
Oh, no.
I mean, we could have disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
And they would never have found us.
Right.
If that was today's, that's probably exactly what would have happened.
So your military, were you in uniform? Did they?
No, we were in cities.
Okay, so they just knew from your ID that you were military.
We had to show our ID, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was probably beneficial.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Yep.
Do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I think that's all.
Okay. So
My voice is getting deeper and deeper.
Oh, it sounds great. You're doing a wonderful job.
Oh,
You've shared some fun stuff. So we're going to be well, first of all, we are restoring this B-17 that I showed you on that postcard.
Yes, right.
And we're building a World War II museum.
You are?
Yes, and this plane will fly in honor of the greatest generation for America.
Oh, wonderful.
So I like to ask people, why do you think that's important to do?
It honors people. And people who deserve it, who should be honored. Some who never came home and still are not coming home. That's what I think.
Good for you. Yeah, that plane stands for all who served.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and where's the bomber going to be?
It's at the Salem Airport right now.
Oh, in Salem.
Yeah, so we have a restoration hangar and a museum there.
Oh, okay.
And your group came for a tour. Maybe it's time for you to come for another tour.
Yeah, maybe. I've never.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here a year and a half, and it may have been something I just didn't sign up for. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's on the calendar again, I will definitely sign
You
up
should.
for it.
You would enjoy it.
Yes, I know I would. Yeah.
One more question. What was it?
I never married.
You never married.
People always ask that question. Never had children. Never wanted children. Therefore, I didn't have them.
There you go.
My sisters made up for it. I had 4 sisters that had 6 kids.
That's
2 sisters that had 5.
34 kids. That's a lot of kids.
And then I had one that had 4, 2 that had 4. 2 that had 2, I think. I don't know. I can't keep up with them all.
That's great.
Now it's 60 something with the greats and greats, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured, you know, they can have the children. I didn't want them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can you think of a question that I missed? Seems like I'm missing something and I can't remember what it is now.
You'll think of it on the way home.
I know, right? Mm-hmm.
Is it my age?
No.
No.
No, you're one. You're one of the greatest generation. That's what counts.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, Peggy, I'm really glad you came down today.
I am too.
Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. So I'm going to be, we are B-17 Alliance.
Right.
But I'm also going to be partnering with another group to collect these stories.
Mhm.
And their passion is all veterans, any veterans. And so we're going to be moving into that so that your story will be used for that part of that as well.
Okay.
Okay? Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine with me.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all I think we need today.
Okay.
Okay. You want me to hold that for you?
Yeah, please.
We'll cover up that logo. Oh, here's your cup holder. Right
Oh,
there.
yeah, there you go. Totally forgot about that.
Here, I'll give you one of these so you can read and maybe ask your activities director to bring you over for a tour.
Oh, sure. I'll give this to Courtney.
Okay?
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Both of you.
Really nice to meet you today.
Nice to meet you too, Terry.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Nice to meet you, sir.